while the oven is preheating, I'm going to show you my setup for baking on a stone or a tile. So what you see is a rack down low with the tile on top of it, and then underneath I have a pan that's sitting on a small rack and it's filled with stones. You also see another bigger pan here that I've been using, I've been preheating in the oven. So when I load my bread, I'm going to turn this big pan upside down on top of the bread, partly on the tile and partly off the tile. And then I'm going to pour water into the pan below on the stones to create steam. So I just wanted to give you a preview before, because when I have to load the oven, it goes rather quickly. Okay, I'm going to be baking on the stone. So I took out the bread from the fridge right now. The oven is hot. This has been in the fridge for about 14 hours. And just like with the last loaf I put in the Dutch oven, I'm going to be using a piece of parchment, actually the same piece of parchment, and a quarter sheet pan and a lame. Again, if you don't have a lame, you could just use a serrated knife or a plain razor blade. So I'm going to put the parchment on top of the pan, on top of the loaf, and gently, without squeezing, I'm going to turn it over. Okay, I'm going to take off the banneton and then take off the couche, and I have my loaf here, and I'm going to give it one score from end to end at a 45-degree angle, a half an inch to an inch deep. Okay, and now we're going to go into the oven. Okay, I'm ready to go into the oven. So you see that I have this pan that's been heating up. I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to take my bread and gently slide it onto the tile. I'll take my bread, my pan that's hot, turn it over, and set it on top so that it's hanging over. And then I'm going to pour some water into the rocks to create steam. I'm closing it right away so I don't lose too much steam, and I'm going to let that sit for 20 minutes. We're back. It's been 20 minutes since the bread went into the oven with the steam. So now I'm coming back and I'm going to uncover it so that it can vent. You can see it's not quite even. We've got looks like nice oven spring. I'm going to turn it around, take off the paper, and give it another 20 minutes so that it can dry out. You can see it's still quite soft. Needs to dry out so that crust can form and we get some good flavor on that. And you can, well, you won't be able to see on the video, but all of the water is gone from the stone. I'm not going to attempt to take that out now. I'll do that at the end. So I'm going to reduce the oven temperature to 400 and bake it for an additional 20 minutes. We're coming back. The loaf has been in for the second, after I took the top pan off, it's been in for 18 minutes. And you can see it's got some nice color on it. The bottom is not too dark. I'm going to take it out now. It looks like a decent loaf. So anyway, that is my setup for baking on a tile or stone.